The Sabbat and Camarilla have ever existed at odds, but the war for North America in the 1990s and early 2000s cemented the sects as eternal blood enemies. In a move to exterminate their foes and cement their rule over the continent, the Sabbat slaughtered their way through the Camarilla and Anarch domains, mercilessly slaying Kindred and revealing their powers to the kine without hesitation. The Camarilla realized it needed to take action, and it formed a strong militant defense led by such icons as Theo Bell. Though more defensive than offensive, the Camarilla reclaimed several domains across the American South. Though pockets of Sabbat control remain in major cities to this night, every vampire participant has a story to tell of their involvement and the horrors they survived. Greetings, Kindred. I am Voivode Maquette, and welcome back to our world of darkness, where we are going over the lore sheets of Tabletop Vampire the Masquerade. Tonight, specifically, we're going to be taking a look at Sect War Veteran, which goes all the way back to the vampire ascension of power in 1999 when the Sabbat decided that they were just going to wage war across the East Coast, going from the south to the north, collecting the severed heads of princes in duffel bags. The story is actually well written in the Clan Saga, or the Fall of Atlanta saga, which is just, it's amazing. If you can get a hold of it, it's depending on which way you read it, it's either 13 smaller books or it is 4 amazing, huge books that are just breathtaking to read, because if you get the 4, they're in chronological order and they're amazing. But what exactly does it mean to be a Sect War veteran in a tabletop setting such as this? Let's take a look and see what the benefits are. Investing 1 dot into this lore sheet gets you Survivor. Your domain, or the domain of a vampire close to you, was scourged during the Sect War. You can recount how the Sabbat and Camarilla strategized, how they warred in the city without alerting mortals, and the names of the fallen vampires caught in the middle. Once per story, you can ask the storyteller for a piece of information relating to the Sect War in your domain. This could come in handy a lot because information of past events can help you prevent future like events. And being able to just look at your storyteller and go, hey, is there anything about the Sect War that I remember that brings about this? It's almost like taking flashbacks, like taking I've seen some shit qualities and adding them to being able to help you. This has shown that your character has learned how to deal with things because they've been through things already. Investing 2 dots into this lore sheet gets you active participant. No matter the sect, the war pulled in many vampires. Even independents served as mercenaries or suppliers for one or both sides. Many vampires were pulled into the Sect War. You have the scars to show for your participation. Your own sect may regard you as a war hero, the other as a war criminal. Take 3 dots of status or mala to reflect your position or that of one of your comrades. Active participant gives you the backing. It shows that someone knows what you've done, that You have a reputation. You fought the fight where others ran and hid. And being able to gain a mala and status, it's very helpful to be able to claim what you've earned when it comes to fighting in something as traumatic as the Sect War was. Investing 3 dots into this lore sheet gets you Trophy Kill. Many notable vampires fell in the Sect War, and to the Archons and Templars participating in the war, taking down a name on either side became a matter of competitive pride. Whether by luck or design, you are responsible for one such vampire's death. You may wear this badge with pride or stifle the rumors, but either way, the vitae coats your hands. Once per story, you can use this legend to bypass a contest where it might assist, just as the storyteller can also use it to send enemies after your head. A violent reputation in a vampire game can lead to traumatic roleplay experiences. You can, by all means, use this as a threatening aspect of you to get your way in a story, once per story. But again, as it also says, the storyteller can send enemies after you for this reason. Now, I do want to explain that a Templar, as put in the description, is the Sabbat version of an Archon. Let's just leave it at that. These are people who caused a lot of damage during the Sect War. The Archons and the Templars were active participants in the streets. And that's just a terrifying fact because these are the killers of killers. There's actually some pretty interesting interactions between Theo Bell and Telly the Hound, who is a Lasombra Templar, and also one of the movers and shakers in the Let the Lasombra Join the Camarilla revolution that's happening currently in Vampire the Masquerade. But people know who you are. And I've seen this kind of thing happen in my game without this lore sheet, where people will just go, I've seen this happen before, I'm not messing with you, I'm backing off, without even a need for that kind of thing to happen. And it can be depressing, where the actions that you would have taken are completely subverted due to the fact that somebody already knows who you are and you have a reputation. Investing 4 dots into this lore sheet gets you No Vampires Land. Kindred hit teams on either side of the Sect War raged from domain to domain and then back across the old ground as defenders rallied. This Great War-style push and pull of conflict led to some vampires obsessing over domains and their hidden sanctuaries, armories, tunnel networks, and side streets. You know all the best spots in your domain and 2 adjacent domains for launching an ambush, hiding from attackers, restocking a militia, or making contact with mercenaries. Add 2 dots to your domain's portillion, and add 2 dice to relevant streetwise, larceny, and stealth pools in 2 neighboring domains. The war was so hectic for you, in one way or another, that you have branched out to 2 other domains outside of the standard city that your game is set in, opening up a wide variety of options, including backdoors and other such special caveats. But the fact that you have bonus dice in skills in specific domains, it basically adds specialties good specialties because it's a +2 to those dice rolls. It can make you a formidable opponent if you technically have the high ground. Investing 5 dots into this lore sheet gets you Sect Agitator. Some vampires exist only to cause bloodshed, and you count yourself among that number. Individuals such as Lucinda of the Camarilla and Francesco Domingo del Polonia of the Sabbat spoiled for war and were left hollow when it concluded. You know all the trigger points and the correct fuse to light in order to spark a new sect war. It may be localized to a single domain at first, but once the flames start, you can fan them to extend. Add 2 dice to all of your pools for social test to inflame sectarian tension. 2 dots added to all social pools to start a fight between the groups. 5 dots on your sheet gives you the advantage of being an asshole. This will let you continuously fan the flames of resentment and bitterness and anger for everything that people have gone up against. And there's always more than one sect in a city. The Camarilla might hold dominion, might hold praxis over a city, but there's going to be a small Anarch faction or a group of Hecata who have gotten permission to stay here. And the Hecata, the Giovanni anyway, were dragged into the Sect War too, because a lot of stuff happened in Baltimore. One of their major figures, Benito Giovanni, was kidnapped in the exact same time all of this stuff was happening. It didn't have anything to do with the Sect War, but it definitely could be pushed to look that way. Depending on how you want to roll this, you could very well start a new devastating sect war in your area and the surrounding areas. It could grow out of control, and we could have 1999 all over again. But right now, we also have the Inquisition to worry about. It really does make me wonder if this point is worth taking. But some people just want to see the world burn. Sect War Veteran. This is a lore sheet that really goes in a lot of different directions. It opens you up to so much interesting role play and mechanical use that is completely wrapped around the concept of your character has been there. Your character knows what to do, and your character could in fact reignite all of it if they wanted to. I am Voivode Maquette, and thank you for joining me in this lore sheet review as we go over the Vampire the Masquerade tabletop lore sheets and see exactly what we get out of them. Good evening.